Okay, so we're really diving deep into the world of Malt Masters today.
It's a
And
fascinating one.
it really is, yeah. And luckily, we've got this whole stack of resources here from RoleCatcher to kind of guide us through like what it actually takes to make it in this field.
Right.
So they've given us like a full career guide, details on, get this, their AI-powered interview tools.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, pretty cool. And even some comparisons to other career platforms out there so we can see how they stack up.
Yeah, what I find really interesting looking through all of this is like the sheer range of skills you need to be a malt master.
Yeah,
Like you might think, oh, refined palate, sure.
right. Like that's a given.
Exactly. And of course, Rollcatcher, they stress that it asks critical,
Of course.
but it goes so much deeper than that.
Yeah.
You need like a deep understanding of the science behind brewing,
Okay.
from the raw ingredients all the way to like the whole production process.
That's actually something that really stood out to me in the guide too.
Right.
It said that a malt master acts as a quote guardian of consistency.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Making sure each batch, every single one, meets these like exacting standards.
Yeah. Why do you think that consistency is so crucial though?
Well, think about it. It all comes down to a brewery's brand, their reputation,
Okay.
right? Imagine you find this beer you love.
Oh yeah.
You expect that same flavor profile every time you buy it.
Yeah, for sure.
If it's inconsistent, that can really damage consumer trust.
Makes sense.
They might even start questioning the quality of the whole brand, you know?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And talking about ensuring quality, the guide goes into this whole thing called sensory analysis,
Oh, yeah.
which
That's
sounds
how-
super intricate.
Yeah.
They're evaluating like the look, the smell, the taste of the malt throughout all these different stages.
Every step of the way.
It's like, can you imagine being able to like pick up on the tiniest little off note
Right.
in something that's eventually going to be a beer?
Oh, absolutely. And it's not even just about like identifying the flaw. It's
Yeah.
like understanding the source.
Right.
Like, is this the malt itself? Is it the roasting process? Something else entirely.
Interesting.
It's like detective work, requiring these sharp analytical skills.
So like if you were tasting the malt, what kind of subtle clues would you be looking for?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
And actually, at RoleCatcher, they give some really good exercises in their guide
Oh,
to
cool.
like help you train your palate.
Oh, nice.
Have you had a chance to try any of those out yet?
I haven't, no.
Oh, you should.
I will.
It reminds me of like those wine experts who can like taste a wine and tell you exactly which vineyard it came from.
Exactly.
It's like that, but with beer.
Exactly. And the thing is, the Malt Masters analysis, it has this huge impact, right?
Right,
It directly affects the final product's flavor,
right.
making sure it's consistent across entire batches.
Yeah,
That's a lot of responsibility.
yeah.
It is a lot of responsibility, yeah. And speaking of responsibility, they're not just analyzing, are they?
No, yeah.
They're actually creating as well.
They are creating.
Which is kind of amazing. The RoleCatcher guide talks about how malt masters are super involved in like product development,
Yeah.
dreaming up new blends, new recipes.
Right. Experimenting.
So cool. Experimenting with all these different malts to craft these unique flavors.
Sounds like a dream job. It does.
It's like, sign me up.
Sign me up too. But, it does require that balance, right?
Yeah.
You need that scientific knowledge, but also the creativity,
Yeah, for sure.
because they need to know how these different malts are going to interact during the whole brewing process
Right.
to create that precise flavor profile they're going for.
Right.
It's art and science all in one.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
The guide even goes into like this whole breakdown of the career path itself.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So you start as like an assistant malt master and you can work your way all the way up to senior.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so interesting to see how like the responsibilities change, the expertise needed changes
Oh, absolutely.
at every single stage.
Yeah.
But what really stuck out to me was how much it emphasizes continuous learning.
Yes.
It's like a malt master's education never really ends, does it?
Yeah, it really doesn't. This industry, it's constantly changing, constantly innovating.
Right.
New techniques, ingredients, beer styles, they're popping up all the time.
Oh, yeah.
You got to stay ahead of the curve.
So how do you do that?
Well, attending conferences is a big one. Joining those professional organizations.
Makes sense.
RoleCatcher even mentions some certifications you get, like becoming a certified Cicerone
Oh, wow.
or a certified beer judge.
I didn't even know those existed.
Oh, yeah. There's a whole world out there.
That's so cool. So, okay, say you have like the skills, you've got the passion.
Mhm.
Now you got to actually land the job.
Right, right.
How does RoleCatcher help with that?
Well, this is where those tools I mentioned come in.
Okay.
They're really intriguing.
Yep.
Like they have this AI that analyzes job descriptions
Okay.
to help tailor your CV.
What?
Yeah.
So it's like a perfect match every time.
Pretty much. It's like having a personal recruiter highlighting exactly what you need to emphasize to stand out.
That's amazing. Okay, we have to unpack those tools a little bit more because
Yeah,
that's really cool.
we should.
I was particularly interested in the section about like beating those automated recruiting systems
Yeah.
because those can be like such a headache.
They are. Those algorithms can be tricky.
Yes.
But RoleCatcher really emphasizes tailoring your CV to each job description.
Okay.
And their AI actually analyzes your CV alongside the job specs
Oh, wow.
to identify any gaps in your skills.
That's so helpful.
Right.
It's like having the secret weapon
I know.
to like navigate the whole application process.
It is. And if you upgrade to the RoleCatcher Copilot AI, it gets even more intense.
Oh, okay. What's that?
So that one does tailored cover letters for you,
Oh my God.
optimized application answers,
Wow.
even analyzes your interview practice videos.
What?
So
Everything.
they're like with you every step of the way.
They really are.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really comprehensive. So it sounds like they really do cover every step of that job search process.
They do.
But what about like the actual work environment?
Right.
Is it all like gleaming steel tanks and like this amazing aroma of malt?
Right.
What does the guide say about that?
Well, it's probably not what you see in the beer commercials.
Right. Okay.
RoleCatcher's guide kind of paints this picture of like a brewery, a production facility,
Right.
being,
Yeah.
noisy, hot, humid environments.
Not your typical like office job?
No,
Okay.
not quite.
Right.
The guide even mentions like working in confined spaces sometimes.
Oh, wow.
Standing for long periods.
Okay. It sounds like you got to be comfortable with like a hands-on,
Yeah.
maybe even like physically demanding
Right.
work environment.
Yeah. And I bet safety is like huge.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The guide mentioned that too.
Yeah.
Like potential exposure to chemicals, high temperatures, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's just another side of the job, I think,
Yeah.
that's really important to like be aware of.
For sure. For sure. But it's not all like physical environment.
Right.
The guide also talks about the importance of like collaboration,
Oh.
working with like brewers, production managers, quality control,
It makes sense.
all those different people.
Right. So you're not just like off on your own, like doing your own thing.
No, you're part of a team.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting how it like blends those sensory skills, right?
Hmm?
With that scientific knowledge,
Yes.
but then also throws in those elements of like
Teamwork.
teamwork.
Yeah. Communication is huge.
Yeah.
And like even building relationships with your suppliers,
Oh, right. Yeah.
vendors, because
Yeah.
you got to make sure those raw materials are top notch.
Meeting those quality standards.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So
It's a lot, but it sounds,
that's really
it's
rewarding.
very dynamic, very demanding, but
Yeah.
yeah, if you're passionate about this world,
Yeah. If you love beer,
if you love beer,
this is probably
this is it. Yeah, it sounds amazing.
It does. And speaking of passion,
Mm.
RoleCatcher actually gives some cool insights into like industry trends as a whole.
Okay. Yeah, what's the outlook looking like?
So it's looking good.
Okay, good.
The brewing industry, it's actually experiencing some like significant growth right now,
Okay.
which makes sense, right? Because more and more people are like into craft beers, specialty brewed.
Everyone wants to try something new.
Exactly.
Something in.
They want something beyond like the same old, mass-produced stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So this demand has like sparked all these new breweries popping up.
Oh, wow.
Existing ones are expanding,
That's awesome.
which means more opportunities, right?
Right, that's great for anyone listening. Like, who's
Makes
thinking about this as a career?
Yeah, more opportunities for skilled professionals.
That's really encouraging to hear. What else is the guide kind of highlighting?
Well, one thing that stood out to me was sustainability.
Oh.
The brewing industry,
Hmm.
they're really putting an emphasis on environmentally friendly practices now.
Which is more important now than ever, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially as consumers, we're all becoming more aware of
Yeah.
like the environmental impact of everything.
Totally.
And that includes our beer.
Right.
So breweries are like really looking for ways to reduce their footprint.
Okay. Like what are they doing?
So things like water conservation,
Okay.
energy efficiency,
Oh, right.
sourcing ingredients locally,
Makes sense.
all that kind of stuff.
It's great that they're like making those changes.
Yeah, it's really encouraging to see
It is.
the industry kind of like stepping up like that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we've talked about like the responsibilities, the skills, that like exciting but intense work environment.
Right?
We've even like touched on the industry outlook, which seems,
Sounds promising.
it does sound really promising.
It does.
And of course we talked about all those like tools and resources that RoleCatcher provides.
Right, to help you navigate the whole
Yeah,
thing.
to like find a job, build a career, all that.
Build a whole career, yeah.
So from like understanding the skills needed to like tailoring those application materials to even like prepping for the interviews.
It's a lot.
It is.
But they seem to cover it all.
They do.
They really do.
But I want to like loop back to something we mentioned earlier.
Okay.
Which was the whole rise of like alternative beverages.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because it's such a big trend right now.
It's huge.
It is.
And it's not going away.
Yeah.
It's only getting bigger.
Like every day there's a new like
I know.
sparkling water, kombucha, whatever.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So how do you think this trend might like impact the future of like being a vault master?
Right.
Especially since like the guide really focuses on
Traditional brewing.
Yeah, that's such a good question. And I don't think the guide really touches on that.
Yeah.
But it's something to think about, right?
Yeah.
Because you could easily see how a malt master's skills
Yeah.
could transfer over
Right.
to this whole world of like new beverages.
Yeah, because it's still...
It's still about flavor.
Right, it's still...
They understand grains, fermentation, how to create depth of flavor.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
It is, yeah. So it's like, they're not just malt masters anymore. They're
Yeah.
like flavor architects.
Flavor architects, I love that.
Right.
Nice.
Using their knowledge to like transform these simple grains into something totally new.
Totally new, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So like imagine...
Like imagine a malt master taking everything they know and like crafting a whole line of non-alcoholic craft beers.
Oh,
But like each one has its own distinct flavor profile.
okay, yeah.
So you could have like your hoppy IPAs,
Right.
your rich malty stouts,
Okay.
refreshing wheat beers.
See, now you're speaking my language.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like the possibilities are kind of endless.
They are. And it's not even just about like recreating those familiar flavors.
Right.
It's about like what totally new flavor profiles can you create from these grains.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like using those unique qualities
That's
to
right.
make something totally new.
And that's where like the malt master's expertise really comes in.
Right.
Because they can experiment with different roasting techniques, different fermentation processes,
Right.
even like unusual grain combinations
To create something.
that we've never even like thought of before.
It's like a whole new world of like non-alcoholic drinks
I know.
that aren't just like sugary sodas
Right.
or like bland, watery whatever.
A flavor revolution.
It is. It's like a flavor revolution.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've gone from beer to like
Yeah.
this whole world of non-alcoholic beverages.
Well, because think about it. It goes beyond just beer, right?
yeah.
Like a malt master could bring their expertise to like kombucha,
Oh, yeah.
craft sodas, even like
wow.
non-alcoholic spirits
Oh, wow.
that like capture the essence of a cocktail.
I never even thought of that.
Right. But it's all using those traditional malting techniques.
It's true. It's like they have the keys to like
It's-
this
yeah.
whole kingdom of flavor.
It's true. It's true. And their understanding of like
Yeah.
how to extract and manipulate those flavors
Right.
from grains. That's so valuable.
Yeah.
And it goes way beyond just like what we think of as traditional brewing.
Yeah.
Like think about the precision you need
Okay.
to create like a globally recognized coffee brand
Oh, yeah.
with a consistent flavor profile.
Right.
That's the kind of skill a malt master uses every day.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm starting to see like all these possibilities opening up now.
Right.
It's exciting.
It is exciting. And especially now, like consumers want variety.
Right.
They want healthy options, sustainable practices. These skills are just going to become even more valuable.
So like if you're listening to this and you're like kind of intrigued by this whole world,
Yeah, yeah.
those skills are going to be super in demand.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
A malt master who's innovative, who likes to experiment,
Right.
push boundaries, they're going to be like the rock stars of this industry.
I love that. So, okay, if you're someone who's like fascinated by the science of fermentation,
Yes.
you have this like passion for flavor, and you're not
Yes.
afraid to like really roll up your
Get
sleeves,
your hands dirty.
make your hands
Yeah.
dirty.
Dive into like a hands-on field.
It's a dynamic field.
This could be it, right?
Could be it. Yeah,
Like this could be the path for you.
absolutely.
It's really cool because it's like this blend of tradition and innovation where you can like create something totally unique and like contribute to this whole industry that's like
That's just booming right
booming, yeah, constantly evolving.
Exactly.
So for anyone listening who's like ready to take that plunge,
Yeah,
don't forget, RoleCatcher's got your back
they do. They really do.
with all those resources
They'll guide you every step of the way.
from their career guides.
To the AI tools, it's amazing.
It's amazing how much they like offer.
It really is. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
they've created a roadmap
They have, yeah,
for this whole industry.
for this whole industry, which can be kind of like,
It can be a little intimidating,
it
right?
can be a little, yeah, like where do I even start?
I know, but they break it down.
They
They make it
do.
manageable.
They do. Okay, so to kind of wrap things up,
Yeah.
what would you say to someone who's, maybe feeling that little spark of interest,
Yeah.
but they're still not sure if this whole like malting brewing world is for them?
I'd say if you're passionate about flavor,
Okay.
if you're curious about like the science behind it all,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not afraid of a little hard work,
Yeah.
this could be it.
This could be your calling.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a career with so much potential.
it really is.
It's really amazing. And for those who are ready to like really dive in,
Yeah.
remember, RoleCatcher's there
They've got your back
every step of the way.
every step.
Amazing. Well, we've covered so much in this deep dive.
We really have, from sensory analysis,
It's like all the possibilities.
all the
you know?
possibilities with these alternative beverages. It's amazing.
It's so cool. It's really exciting to see like where this industry is going.
It is. It's a really exciting time for, for the beverage industry as a whole.
It really is, yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. This was so fun. Thank you for having me.
It was so fun exploring all of this with you.
Yes, it was great.
And for you listening, wherever your own deep dive into the world of flavor takes you,
We're here with you in spirit.
we wish you the best of luck on your journey.
Cheers to that.